Hey guys, we're back. Talk Shit Sports. Angel O, Jimmy Weed, or Jimmy Blaze.
Jimmy Blaze. We're going to blaze a trail here.
And we're going to blaze a trail here. We got a great show for you guys today. And, on a couple of episodes ago, I talked about, Jimmy's been in the business for a lot of years now, and he's met people from everywhere. I mean, you name
just
it.
About.
Sport, boxing, and just everything. And real quick, Jimmy, what's one of your favorite sporting events that you like to cover? Like, is boxing?
I
NFL?
love boxing. Just boxing, the atmosphere in boxing, the stories. Most of these guys come from absolutely nothing. They literally have to fight their way out of the barrio or wherever to make it. It's a grueling sport. And just everything that goes on behind the scenes in boxing it's incredible. Everybody's compared boxing to, La Cosa Nostra or Mafia, because in parts it is. There's a lot of things that people think, there's been shady things within boxing. Sometimes I wonder myself how some judges actually come up with their scorecards. I've been left scratching my head a few times saying, what? And so all that just makes it so interesting to cover. There's obviously great personalities in every sport, but just everything just seems to fit in boxing in a way that very few other sports actually can deliver.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures of you at the Wilder fight in the ring there with those two big guys, two giants. It's just something about boxing where when that fighter comes to the ring with that song, I don't know, that energy, it's just magic.
It's magical. Trust me. Top Rank does a wonderful job with their pre-fight scenarios, their entrances, their ring walks. They have this thing that they put up on the big screen where it says, this is boxing. And you've got some of the best of the very best in that little highlight reel. And it just gets your blood pumping. You can just feel like the hair stand in the back of your neck. You feel the entire arena, when we could all go right. and be present at a sporting event. Everybody, it's just like they lift everyone to such a frenzy. I believe that if you could, you'd go in there and try to put the gloves on yourself and fight. Obviously not recommended because some of these guys would actually literally kill you.
We'll do our fight camp at our gym.
Exactly. We'll do fight camp in the gym or
chingazos in the gym.
Speaking of which, shout out to Wildcard Boxing, right. Freddie Roach and his guys.
You go to Wildcard here in Hollywood, right?
Yeah, Wildcard here in Hollywood. Freddie Roach, great guy. Man, that little gym was transformed when Manny Pacquiao walked into that gym once, and it changed Freddie Roach forever, and it changed the lives of a lot of people. Who would have thunk it? A guy that started his career at 108 pounds, and he was able to fight all the way to 154. Just amazing. 8-division champ. Just unheard of.
I heard a story about Wildcard is that Freddie Roach keeps the prices real low so anybody can come.
Anybody can go.
Anybody can go.
Anybody
there,
can go in and train.
He didn't get all fancy. He just kept it cool with everybody.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Freddie Roach, a real down to earth.
Freddie Roach is a really down to earth guy. But yeah, anybody can go train. I believe at 2 or 3 o'clock. That's when the real fighters come in. That's when the prize fighters come in and train. So from 8, 9 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then that's when the pros come in, and that's when they train. So the gym closes at that time. Now they have 2 gyms, one upstairs and one downstairs. Downstairs is the one for the big timers, the Manny Pacquiaos. The Miguel Cottos who used to train with him before, and all the big fighters, he takes them downstairs where it's more of a one-on-one thing and you don't have like the hustle and bustle of everybody else upstairs. But it's a great gym. It's a great gym.
That's so cool. Jimmy, what is it like to be in that ring after a fight? I mean, you see it on TV. It's like, wow, it's just like you're in there. They just beat the heck out of each other, and then all of a sudden you're there with a microphone asking them questions. I'm like, I remember great Larry Merchant in the ring, getting mad at people.
Getting mad at Floyd Mayweather and telling him, hey, if I was, I don't know how many years younger, he said, I'd kick your ass. Yeah. Larry Merchant, feisty guy. Yeah. But you know what? It's an adrenaline rush just because, you need to ask them, what happened. Especially like a guy that loses, most of the time they don't want to talk. For example, Manny Pacquiao. I was calling the fight for Top Rank for the international feed. Pacquiao Marquez 4. When Marquez laid him out. No. And people actually thought that he might be dead. I mean, he didn't get up for quite a while. His wife was going absolutely insane, just screaming at the top of her lungs, crying. One of those just incredible knockouts, and I was able to talk to obviously Marquez and also Manny. And I asked Manny, I go, Manny, what happened? And he goes, he just caught me with a good punch, hats off to him. And some guys, want to talk. Some guys just, after they lose, they get out of the ring, they leave, and that's it. You don't see them again. One of the funny story, to me, the best fight I've ever covered live, that I've been there, I was ringside calling the fight as well, was Jose Luis Castillo and Diego Chico Corrales, one. And that fight was incredible. It went back and forth. I mean, that one could have been fought in a phone booth, in a closet, whatever you want to call it, in an armoire, just because they were both on the inside and just beating the absolute crap out of each other.
Did Diego's the one that passed away on the motorcycle?
Yes, Diego Castillo's the one that passed away. Right? Corrales, yes. Yeah. He was great. And with Joe Goosen, I don't know if they actually had this planned or not, but when Castillo dropped him, Corrales spit out his mouthpiece, and that gave him some time. He spit it out twice. I mean, that nowadays, more than likely, they could have taken points off, or they could have pretty much called the fight. But it was a great fight, and I remember I was working for ESPN at the time, and the guy in charge of MGM Mirage PR, he didn't know that I was calling the fight. And so one day when I got up on the ring apron and made my way into the ring to do the interview, he freaked out. And he called security. He wanted to have me thrown out. He didn't know that I was doing it for Top Rank in the international feed. And so I had to show him my mic flag at the time, and he's like, you didn't tell me, whatever, but he was going to throw me out. He was going to have security go in there and get my ass out and throw me out.
They had no interview.
No interview. No, yeah. But the thing is, I forgot to tell him. But it's fun. It's fun. I got to be in the ring with Tyson Fury after he beat Deontay Wilder. This last time.
How big was that guy?
He's 6'9".
I saw the picture. You were reaching up.
I was like this. I needed a ladder. Great guy, the Gypsy King. But those are the moments that make it fun. Yeah. And honestly, I've been privileged because I've covered just about anybody who's in boxing for the last 25 years or so. And I'm privy to doing things that most people will never get to do. It's just fun.
No, I mean, that's pretty awesome.
It's fun. It's but UFC has also some great atmosphere. Right. It's sort of like a little rock concert in between fights. That they always have music playing. They know how to set up an event.
Well, my brother and my cousins are big UFC fans. They told me about that. We'll talk about that in a second. But we got a big weekend this weekend. NFL.
It's always a big weekend with the NFL, but this one even more so because we're one step away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, which you were at last year.
I was at the Super Bowl last year. I was a sideline reporter for Fox Deportes.
You were there with J-Lo on the floor?
I was really close to J-Lo.
Oh, yeah?
Let me tell you, I didn't used to like J-Lo. And people ask me, what the hell's wrong with you? Why didn't you? Yeah. I just didn't like J-Lo.
Yeah.
But the last few years, I mean, the older she's gotten, the better she looks. I don't know, like man. I need to find myself a 50-year-old that looks like J-Lo. That's what I need.
If you're 50 out there and single,
and if you look like J-Lo,
look like J-Lo, J-Lo-ish.
Let me tell you, she is phenomenal. She puts on a great show. Shakira was incredible as well.
Yeah, J-Lo, Shakira. I mean,
J-Lo, Shakira.
So if you look like J-Lo or Shakira, call Jimmy.
You can't go wrong. Latinas.
1-800-JIMMY.
Here we go. Yeah.
Jimmy's taking you out. Well, we can't go out here in LA. So
no, we can't go out anywhere right now.
You can go out on a Zoom, save some money.
Well, yeah.
Dating is cheap right now. So, but no, you were gone. I mean, you were sending the pics from the Super Bowl. It was just, it looked awesome. I mean, what a weekend. And it's going to be different this time.
Yes, it's going to be different this time in Tampa. And the Bucks have a chance of becoming the first team ever to play at home in the Super Bowl.
First team?
It would be the first team to play at home during a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers, please do me a favor. Don't let it happen. Just because I don't like Tom Brady. Everybody knows it.
Yeah, we all know. We all know, but he likes Giselle, but he doesn't like Tom Brady. But,
oh, God.
But we'll talk about the first game here. Well, I don't know if it's the first game or not, but we'll talk about Chiefs and Bills.
Actually, that's the second game of the day.
The second game, but we're talking about it first here on our show.
Absolutely.
Because we don't know. We don't know if Mahomes is going to start or not.
Wow. You know what? He needs to clear 5 steps of the concussion protocol to be able to be cleared. Not only cleared by the team, but cleared by an independent source, an independent doctor. So this is not all up to the Chiefs. If it would have been the championship game going into the Super Bowl, I could tell you probably with 90% certainty that yes, he's going to play. Now we don't know. Why? Because he needs to pass. First of all, he needs to feel okay, not have any side effects of the concussion, which, earlier in the week he said he didn't. But then not only that, he needs to go and look at film. Sometimes light, moving objects, those will cause, for you to feel some sort of side effect from the concussion. After that, he needs to start or needed to start working on his conditioning, his aerobic workouts, and see if that had any side effects, any ill effects on what happened. Then, he needed to have football interaction or non-contact drills and all that, and we don't know exactly how he would progress from one to the other. And even if he clears all of them according to the Chiefs, somebody else needs to go in and give him that final okay, and we don't know if that's going to happen. And if not, Chad Henne's going to be the starting quarterback for the Chiefs. Anything is possible. Hashtag anything is possible. Chad Henny is, he's been around.
But he's not the same.
But it's not the same. But tell you what, though. Chad Henny, I believe, is a quarterback who is not going to shrink, who is not going to be absolutely blinded by the big lights. He's got a lot of weapons on that team. He doesn't need to be the super quarterback. Get it to Tyreek Hill. Get it to Travis Kelce. I don't know if Edwards-Helaire is going to play because he hasn't played the last couple of weeks.
They have Le'Veon Bell.
They have Le'Veon Bell.
I forgot about him.
I mean, they have.
I saw him on a play.
They have so many weapons that I believe that Chad Henny could take this team to the next level. To the Super Bowl. He won't be the Super Bowl starter. Trust me. If the Chiefs get to the Super Bowl, but. It's not like if, let's say, when Lamar Jackson left the game the last week against the Bills, you knew that there was a huge drop-off as far as talent and experience with the backup quarterback. Day and night. Not this time around. Chad Henny is...
He looked good.
He's a serviceable quarterback. He's a good backup. And I think, the Chiefs have, a lot of confidence in Chad Henny. So, we'll see. I don't think we're going to know exactly until Sunday.
Well, look, don't count out the Bills. Their defense looked good last week. I mean, Josh Allen,
I chose the Bills in my little NFL bracket. I chose the Bills just because I thought, this is the team.
You didn't choose them last week on the show?
No, I didn't choose them last week on... I chose them somewhere, though.
Yeah. But on the show.
However... I do think it's a very talented team. My only worry, I mentioned it before, is a team that usually doesn't run the ball. Late in the game, if you're ahead by less than a touchdown or less or whatever, and you need to work on that clock, if you don't run the ball, then, you're opening up yourself to turning the ball over, not making a first down, and giving the Chiefs, Mahomes, whomever, a chance to come back if you're ahead. And that's something that we've seen time and time again. Defense and a good running game gets you to the Super Bowl. And that's the one thing the Bills don't do well at all.
Well, if Mahomes plays, I'm picking the Chiefs. If he doesn't, I'm picking the Bills. Hemingway or whatever or not.
For whom the bell tolls now with Chad Hemingway.
Yeah. He'll be on a Henny vacation. But I don't know. What about you? I mean, what are you picking?
So you're picking the Bills.
I'm picking the Bill. If
see how convenient.
If Mahomes plays,
how convenient.
Chiefs. If Mahomes doesn't play, I'm picking the Bills.
We'll stick to one. I mean, do you have that much confidence in the Bills, regardless?
I just think that it's like last week. It's like with the Browns. Like they're that one play away from winning.
Look, I think the Bills. I think the Bills can win it with or without Patrick Mahomes playing for the Chiefs. I really think they can. But
he did last week.
I'll let you choose. Who are you going to take? Make up your mind. Who are you going to take?
I'm taking the Bills Mafia.
Okay, so I'll take, even if Chad Henning is the quarterback, even if Mahomes doesn't play, I'm taking the Chiefs.
I got the Bills.
You got the Bills.
All right, we'll see.
All right.
So the next game
pays for the next round of micheladas.
Oh yeah, we got this. Put on my tab when the restaurants open up again.
Exactly.
Someday, right? Packers and Bucks.
Look. Aaron Rodgers has been playing lights out.
But your boy Tom Brady's coming.
I don't care. Tom Brady can't play defense. Look what they did to the number one defense, the Rams.
No, but come on. I mean, Aaron Donald was hurt.
Aaron Donald was hurt, but you've got the rest of the defense. They're still a number one defense for a reason. Jalen Ramsey is the number one cornerback.
But it changes the game when they're double teaming Donald and Brockers is open. And then, it takes time to get the ball out there. Ramsey can shut these guys down. It was a different Rams team.
Oh, okay.
Let's not talk about my Rams.
All right.
Don't talk about my Rams right now, please.
Okay, so now we're going to have, now you're going to backtrack and tell me that, they lost because Aaron Donald didn't play well that he was hurt.
We're talking about the Packers and Bucks right now. Let's keep it here, right?
Okay. I'm still taking Green Bay for three reasons. Aaron Rodgers, and they're playing at Lambeau, and Devante Adams. The combination of Aaron Rodgers and Devante Adams is incredible. Oh, it's going to be cold. It's going to be like in the 20s, possible snow.
Let's check it out.
Tom Brady's played in the cold. He's played in the snow before, and he's done well. So that really doesn't make a difference, I think, as far as the quarterback is concerned.
Sunday?
But the rest of the Bucks,
40%.
They haven't been there.
No,
Tom Brady
they're starting
has.
to believe now.
Tom Brady has, but the rest haven't yet.
Yeah, but they're starting to believe. You could tell last week. They're starting to believe.
For them.
Yeah.
They can be believers, you know. I'll take them to a Justin Bieber concert.
You know, you are a Florida guy, you know, down the street from you. But, I noticed Antonio Brown got hurt. I don't remember.
Yes.
Did he come back in the game? I don't think so.
No, I think he's day-to-day now. I think the last thing I read, he was able to avoid a serious knee injury from what I read.
It looked like he was on the side.
So I don't know if he's going to be available, but they still have, you know, Mike Evans. They still have Doug Goodwin. They still have Cameron Brate. They still have Gronk. They still have Ronald Jones. They still have Leonard Fournette.
Winfield Jr. was that the guy that caught? He did an awesome catch. Brown went out and he caught the ball.
Yes,
big first down. It was like it led to a score.
It's probably the best talent that Tom Brady has had in the last 10 years, maybe. But once again, most of these guys haven't been in this position before. Most of these guys, I don't know how they're going to be able to play in the snow, in the cold. Right. One thing is for your quarterback who's been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, all sorts of things. But the rest of the team, and I don't know, sorry to my buddy Rolly Cantu, who swears by Bruce Arians, I don't know. Bruce Arians, somewhere down the line, he's going to commit some big error that's going to cost them the game.
Bruce Arians says he lets Tom Brady coach. He said it the other day.
And he's thrown Tom Brady under the bus several times during the season.
In New England, Brady never coached, ever. He says sometimes he sits back and lets Brady coach. Let him watch him coach on the field.
Well, I mean, he can. He's got so much experience.
Here's the thing. The way the Bucs are going to win, I think Tom Brady and Gronk have a big game.
Gronk hasn't had a big game all year.
But not yet. But he's Gronk still. Tom Brady, Gronk, snow, cold. It's going to be a 40% chance of snow.
Yes. Well, Gronk
Fournette
is a step slower. He can block. I think if a tight end is going to have a big day, it's going to be Cameron Brate. It's not going to be Gronk.
Or Tanya on the other side.
Robert Tanya will have a big game. I can guarantee.
But Ronald Johnson doesn't. He looks hurt. He looks like he's something wrong with him. He ran a play.
Ronald Jones has been hurt. Ronald Jones has been hurt. He did play well against the Saints.
Fournette played good.
Yeah,
Bucs blew him out this year.
Fournette. Yes, they did. I don't think it's the same thing as when they played in Week 6.
I think Aaron Rodgers had a hangover, or he was.
Well, Devante Adams was hurt.
Or maybe him and Danica broke up, and he was he's single like you. He's on Match.com right now.
No, I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers looks good.
I trust Aaron Rodgers this year.
He just has that grin on his face. He's got that look like.
Yeah.
Ain't no one gonna beat me,
Yes,
it's like,
I actually think Green Bay is
Devante Adams. You think top 3 receiver, top number 1 in the league right now? I mean,
now this year, Devante Adams was the best receiver in the league.
Yeah, he looks
hands
good.
down,
out of Fresno
hands
State.
Down.
Fresno State.
He can create separation. He makes some catches that are just incredible. Even when he's double teamed or whatever. I mean, the past game, yes, Aaron Donald wasn't pressuring Aaron Rodgers, whatever you want to say.
We're not talking about the Rams anymore.
But look what Devante Adams did to Jalen Ramsey. I mean, Jalen Ramsey was always 1 or 2 steps behind Devante Adams.
It not only was it Devante Adams, it was Rodgers. He was hike. They were getting that ball out quick. They were mixed matching. Jalen Ramsey was getting all frustrated.
Yes, that's what he should have been.
Why am I talking about my Rams right now? We're focused on the Packers and Bucs. So let's go down to our picks here, Jimmy. Even though I think Tom Brady is a crazy story, man. I mean, this guy at his age, same age as me, to be playing at a high level, and I just don't think I'm going with Packers on this one.
Oh man.
Even though Tom Brady won me a fantasy football a couple years ago.
You've been talking so much smack about Tom Brady and that they do this and they do that. Come on. No. Man up.
Packers going to win the Super Bowl and make my Rams look good for losing to them.
I got the Packers too. Sorry. No matter what, I said it last week, I can't go with Tom Brady.
I mean, I'll pick on the show.
I can't.
Yeah, well, he's a Florida guy now. He's in your your state. So, well, that's the NFL.
Yeah, don't get me started with Florida. There's so many just upside down things about Florida nowadays.
Well, don't worry about Florida. Look, I got my shirt on here. Look at this, 2020.
Hey! I only claim the U. I only claim the
Los
U.
Angeles champions 2020, Lakers and Dodgers.
I only claim the U.
Here we go. So, all right, that's NFL. We've got our picks in, and now we're moving on to a big fight this weekend. McGregor, Poirier, UFC
257 out in Fight Island,
right? Out in Abu Dhabi. Yeah,
Abu Dhabi. Look, they had to move it out there because over here you can't have any fans. I believe there's going to be 6,000 fans. I believe they said.
Oh, they're going to have.
They're going to have fans. They're going to have fans.
Well, they could do it in Texas, like boxing. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I guess you could. Texas is Texas, but look, Conor McGregor, he hasn't fought since
This is the second time they fight.
Yes, he beat Poirier once. So this is a rematch.
He fought a year ago.
But exactly it's been almost a year ago. Almost McGregor. A year ago. It'll be a year ago. He fought Cowboy Cerrone. He absolutely beat the shit out of Cowboy Cerrone. I was surprised that he beat the shit out of him. The way he did it, though.
Yeah.
The way he did it. I mean, he hit him with a. No, it wasn't the kick first. They went into like a clinch, and then he just started hitting him with the shoulder.
Yeah.
And he busted him up. And after that, he hit him with a kick to the side of the head, whatever, and he went in and he just knocked him out. I mean, it was incredible. The one thing about Conor McGregor is not only does he talk a lot of smack, he goes and he backs it up. He's the one guy that Dana White needs right now because most of his big names in UFC have either retired, they've lost. There's a little bit of that luster that seems to be coming off of UFC lately. And so he needs this big time. Dana needs McGregor to, come out gangbusters again.
The big name.
And just absolutely run over Dustin Poirier. However, and you know what? Dana had a meeting last weekend with Khabib Nurmagomedov. Say that 20 times fast. I can't. I'll just call him Khabib. I'm not going to
try Khabib.
And Khabib said, you know what? I'm going to stay retired. I don't need you. Maybe one of these guys has a really good showing. I'll consider coming back for a fight. I don't know if that's Dana telling him, hey, we'll wait and see. But Dana wants the Khabib Conor McGregor rematch.
Well, you know what McGregor said?
What's that?
Khabib beat him at his best and McGregor's worst. So Khabib's seen his worst.
Oh, okay. So
that's
now
what McGregor said.
Yeah, but McGregor can say whatever he wants.
But McGregor said he's retiring. The guy's retiring because he don't want to fight McGregor again.
Oh, that's not true. He retired because.
But McGregor didn't look good in that fight. He didn't look like a McGregor.
Well, that's what Khabib does to every single one of his opponents.
I think a second time around, McGregor can do some stuff.
No, well, the reason why Khabib decided to retire is because his dad passed away.
Because of
COVID. And so he promised to his mom that if he won, he'd quit. And that's what he did. Look, it's going to take a lot of money. And I'm sure that if, there is a rematch, there's going to be a lot of money. Not boxing type of money.
No.
Like the McGregor, Floyd Mayweather, where, each guy made over $100 million.
Yeah, but that was a joke.
But I don't think that's going to be the case here. Why? First of all, because Dana doesn't allow that to happen.
Well, Dana, he better open up his pocket if he wants it to happen.
Dana doesn't pay his fighters. That's the one thing we all know. He doesn't pay his fighters the way he should. He pays them by a scale. He does have bonuses, but most of these guys don't make over $1 million per fight. Where just average champs or whatever you want to call them in boxing make that and then some.
I think McGregor off the McGregor Mayweather fight, he'd made more money there than he will in his whole entire career in UFC.
Oh, absolutely. He made over 100 million. He made over 100 million, fighting.
That's outrageous.
A circus fight, in my opinion, against Floyd Mayweather. But McGregor also came out and said that this year he's fighting Manny Pacquiao, and Manny Pacquiao is willing to do that fight.
They're gonna make big money.
That's what it's about. It's
Manny's gonna go off in the sunset.
It's a money grab
money.
For Manny. Why? Because Manny is thinking about, and he's been thinking about this for a while. He's gonna run for president of the Philippines, and he needs money for that. Manny Pacquiao. It's not like he throws his money away, but he gives a lot of his money away. He builds, low-income housing for people in the Philippines. He does a lot of charity work.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's a really good dude, and so it takes a lot of money to run for president. So
how about that?
He needs that. He needs that, and I'm sure. Look, size is immense. The size difference between Manny and Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor in boxing would probably be either a middleweight or super middleweight. That's 160, 168. Manny's still a 147 tops, a welterweight. So obviously welterweight, it's not the same in UFC that it is in boxing. I think Manny is still quick. He can give Conor McGregor a lot of problems. McGregor says that one day he's going to, win a belt in boxing. I don't know if it's, a regular belt that, he puts around his waist just to keep his pants up, maybe. But other than that, I don't see it.
You better watch out. There's a lot of good fighters out there right now in boxing.
You don't mess
right now.
You don't mess with a real fighter. Yes, McGregor can fight, but he needs elbows, he needs kicks, he needs grappling, all sorts of stuff. Right. It's not the same. You can't hit somebody with your shoulder in boxing.
Right. How crazy of a story would that be? I mean, it'd be an amazing story. Manny Pacquiao fights McGregor, makes $100 million, whatever he makes, and goes out, use that money, and runs for president, becomes the president of the Philippines. That would be amazing.
You know what? And that's probably what's going to happen.
It looks like. I mean, I don't see it not happening.
That's
it looks like
probably what's going to happen.
Because Manny don't need to fight McGregor. He can fight.
No, but it's easier than fighting some of the young guns. At 147 right now.
But his mission is bigger. Obviously, his mission is bigger.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
McGregor's a pawn on this one. He's just a fill-in. I think Manny knocks him out real quick.
I don't know if he knocks him out real quick, but he will make him look like a fool.
I think Manny will do more to him than Mayweather did to McGregor, because Manny's more of he's gonna fight.
Yeah, he'll dart fight in and out.
So who knows?
It would be interesting. It would be interesting. That's for sure.
Okay, we're moving on to soccer. We got some news on Messi.
Oh my God! Did you see that game?
I saw the highlight.
Okay, so it was the final of the Supercopa, or the Super Cup, the Spanish Super Cup. It was Barcelona against Athletic Bilbao. I think Messi was upset. The whole team was, because they had gone up on Bilbao twice, and Bilbao came back, and they got the equalizer at the end of regulation. So like close to the 90th minute, that's when they tied up the game 2-2. Then in extra time, Messi was, driving towards the box. And Aicer Villalibre, I believe, is the guy who he hit.
Dropped him.
He dropped him, dude.
I saw that.
It was insane. Yes, Aicer Villalibre. Messi basically was trying to avoid a tackle. The guy was right on him, and what he did is he came behind him and he just smacked him in the back of the head, like really hard.
Maybe he should fight McGregor.
His first, yeah, maybe. Why not?
He's so pissed off with Barcelona.
His first red card ever with Barcelona. First red card ever with Barcelona.
That's
So that's huge. First of all, he got a two-game suspension, 2-game ban. Barcelona is going to appeal it, but he could have gotten much more. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt in my mind, seeing the video, that Messi lost his cool. He's been losing his cool a lot lately, just because of the fact that he's really mad. He's really pissed off at Barca.
He don't want to be there.
He doesn't want to be there. I think it's a very big possibility that he signs with PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, for the next the next year, and we'll see that.
Is his contract up this year?
His contract is up. Contract is up. He's also mentioned that there's several possibilities of where he would entertain playing. Manchester City being one of them. Reunite with Pep Guardiola.
He can go anywhere.
He could go absolutely anywhere.
And then he'll end up in MLS.
He said he's interested in playing in MLS. Why? Because he wants his kids to learn English. One of the things, that's why
he could go to England and then come here.
Exactly. Yeah. He could go to Manchester City, and then come here to New York City FC.
He said that,
which is basically like the sister or the sister franchise for Manchester City here in MLS. Right. So that would make sense. But right now, I think he would go to somewhere like PSG, get reunited with Neymar.
What Neymar wants out of PSG.
I think if Messi comes to PSG, he's going to stay.
Of course.
Especially if Real Madrid sign a bunch of players over this break. I think there's a chance that PSG sign Messi.
Yeah, I mean that'd be great. I mean those guys would definitely dominate over there in the league. But speaking of Messi coming to MLS, Ronaldo's going to come to MLS too.
Oh, that's another one.
Where do you think he'd end up? I'm thinking Miami. I'm thinking out with David Beckham.
With Beckham,
I mean he's a perfect role for Miami.
I think they've already talked.
Probably part owner of the team.
There's rumors that they've already talked, that's a possibility.
Ronaldo in Miami.
Ronaldo, look,
playing Messi in New York, in Florida.
That would be huge. Can you imagine?
I mean, I love him here in LA, but
that would happen probably in the next couple of years for Ronaldo to leave Europe.
Well, especially if they're talking about the MLS raising the salary cap. These guys could get paid some more money.
Oh, absolutely, and they're going to get paid.
Underground deal.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's what they did with Beckham. Basically, it was whatever salary he got as a franchise player or DP, and then he had like so much more money that he could make, with his own image, this and all that. That's why Beckham came over here, because he wanted to grow his brand as well.
Well, that was big for Galaxy. It was huge.
Oh, it was huge for MLS.
Huge.
Galaxy and MLS. And that opened up, the doors for others to start coming over, because Beckham wasn't at the tail end of his career. He wasn't washed up like a lot of people say, a lot of the players that started coming over at the beginning,
like Rooney and those guys.
Well, yeah, Rooney was at the tail end, but he could still play.
Yeah,
Rooney could still play.
Well, Zlatan was at the end of his career, but then he rejuvenated his career.
Zlatan he's something else. I mean, he's killing it right now with AC Milan. He
revived his career here in MLS.
As a matter of fact, AC Milan is at the top of the table, and they may give Juventus a run for their money this year for the Scudetto.
Zlatan's funny because I used to go to Sweden a lot for business, and they swore by this guy. They were telling me Zlatan. I didn't know who they were talking about. They're the best guys going to ever play soccer. He's like a god over there for the Swedes out there in Sweden. So shout out to my Swedish friends out there and your hero Zlatan, who's making it happen still out in Europe.
He's incredible. But if Cristiano wants to come over to MLS, I think that would be huge.
Ronaldo, Messi at the same time?
Ronaldo, Messi at the same time? Look, give it 3 years' time, and I think that's when it's going to happen. Yes, they will both be in their mid-30s, but they're such incredible talents.
MLS
that I
is
think
coming
they
up.
can both help MLS tremendously.
MLS is coming up. I mean, LAFC are got a good program out here too. They got a good thing happening. And
Yeah, LAFC, they just need to shore up their back line. Their defense has been just horrible ever since they came into the league, and they can score a lot of goals, but when you can't stop anybody,
well, soccer's coming around in the U.S., man. I mean, it's been a struggle. They've tried to do it for years, and it looks like they're doing a good job right now. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of young talent playing now in Europe, and more. I think the U.S. is really going to make a name for itself in other leagues. However, not until they actually perform well again in the World Cup.
Well,
I think that's when the U.S. will be able to say, "Hey, you know what? We've arrived."
It's kind of hard because think about it, Jimmy. It's like you got baseball, basketball, football. When you grow up here in the States,
but the number one participation sport in the U.S. is soccer.
I know, but growing up here as a kid, it's like soccer's like the fourth option. It's not like
not now, not anymore. That the number one participation sport in the U.S. is youth soccer.
Growing up here in LA, I mean, I remember people play soccer. They had the leagues and stuff, and we were focused on football, baseball, and
because that's where the money is.
But the only people that would play soccer were like the guys that just came from Mexico, like are the ESL students and those guys. Those are the guys that played soccer when I was growing up in LA.
Right.
It wasn't like a popular thing to do. I guess now it's
everybody's playing soccer. Everybody's playing soccer, and the fact that now, you've got a pro league.
Right.
Whereas
you can go
before,
to the games. We'd have that.
Before you couldn't do that. So yes, 25 years has changed a lot for soccer in the U.S. And I believe it's going to continue to grow. There's going to be 32 teams in MLS.
I mean, imagine having LeBron James on the soccer team. I mean, or players like those kind of players. That's who they have over there in Europe.
That's true. That's true. The money is that's the big issue. The salary cap. MLS controls the signings. Not like every team can just go out and get whomever they want, because people, that don't know about the way MLS works, they're like, well, why doesn't the Galaxy, or why doesn't a team in New York, or why doesn't Beckham's team, Inter Miami, just go out and sign them right now? They can't. Right. There's a salary cap, and big signings go through the league. The league decides pretty much how they sign or where they put each player as well. So obviously some teams like LA, like Miami, like New York, have the ability to maybe put a little bit more pressure on the league and be able to get the guys that they want. For example, when Javier Chicharito Hernandez decided he wanted to come to MLS, it was obvious that LA was the right place. He hasn't performed like everybody wanted him to, but as far as marketing wise is concerned, is the perfect fit.
Well, it kind of sucked for him. I mean, he came literally when Kobe passed. I remember he was at the game, and then the pandemic hits.
Yes,
nobody gets to go see him play. It's like it's been a rough ride for him. But as we close out the show here, talking about soccer, you've been to the World Cup how many times?
I've been to 4 World Cups.
I mean, how was the experience?
I've been to both men and women World Cups, so that's 5.
Was it attending, or just were you actually working as a?
No, working. Well, I attended one as a fan, at the same time that I was working, and that was 1994 here in the U.S.
Oh, okay.
Because not only was I working, but I managed to get tickets to the World Cup. Like, I bought the entire set of tickets. I used to live in the Bay Area, and so I sold some of them, and I went to some games myself. I got to see Brazil play.
Oh wow,
that was incredible. Covering Brazil is just
94
out of this world too.
Here,
yeah.
Is that Italy won?
That's when Italy won.
Yeah, Italy won. That's right.
That's when
Rose
Italy
Bowl, at the Rose Bowl.
Right.
The last World Cup, you were there. Was it the last one, or
in Russia? No, I did not go to Russia.
But which one did you? The last?
Brazil. Germany.
How was Brazil? Oh, that was
just if there's one place on earth that lives, eats, breathes, sleeps soccer, it's Brazil. It's crazy. Futebol. and trust me, there's nothing more than Brazilians like that than soccer. It's in their veins. It's incredible. Everything in Brazil revolves around soccer, and let me tell you, it's a country that their people know how to live. If it's a sunny day on a Friday in the afternoon, you won't see anybody back at the office. Why? Because everybody went to the beach.
Wow.
Just because, it's a nice day.
Wow. I mean, I'm surprised we didn't lose you down to a Brazilian woman down there.
Well,
going down there,
Now you got me down there. I may not come back.
So if you're Brazilian women out there, 1-800, call Jimmy. He's ready to go. He'll take you on a Zoom date.
You fala pouquinho.
You have a great time. But that's our show. We have a big weekend. We can't wait to see what happens after this weekend with the NFL and the McGregor fight. But other than that, Jimmy, any last?
Just like always, man. I'm ready to roll. I can't wait to see the games this weekend. Talk a little bit about McGregor, the possibility of a rematch with Khabib. I don't know if that's going to happen. Manny Pacquiao. We got boxing coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
A big fight. Canelo's going to be fighting again in February. There's a lot. There's
so much stuff going on
coming up. So.
A lot of great sports things happening. We'll be covering them here on our show. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and our YouTube page as well. Follow us there. Get on that channel. A lot of great things going to happen there. But it's all about the
U, baby.
Right here. See you next week.